All right, so today we're going to dive into VR, virtual reality.
Mm.
Um, you sent over some really interesting stuff, and I kind of want to cut through the hype.
Yeah, yeah.
What is VR now? Why is it actually important?
Yeah, and I think when you hear VR, a lot of people just think of like gaming and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's so much more than that now. So,
Yeah.
you know, what are we even talking about?
So, like in the simplest terms, VR creates a 3D world, a simulated world that you can experience with a headset. And the key here is immersion.
Right.
So it makes you feel like you're actually present in that digital environment. It's not
Mm.
just like looking at a screen.
Exactly. And it's very different from AR, augmented reality where you're just putting like a layer over the real world.
Right.
VR is completely replacing what you see. So imagine, you could explore the Amazon rainforest, you could attend a global conference, and you never even left your house.
It sounds so futuristic. How does it even work? How does it make you feel like you're really there?
It all comes down to the technology inside the headsets.
Oh.
So, okay.
You've got high-resolution screens, you've got lenses, and they're delivering like a slightly different image to each eye. And that's how we get the depth. And then the really important part is they're using sensors. So things like accelerometers, gyroscopes,
Oh, wow.
to track your head movements. And they do it super precisely.
So if you turn your head.
Yeah, you move your head, and the view changes in the VR world instantly.
Wow.
And that's so important for making it feel real.
Wow.
And then we're also seeing more and more haptic technology.
Okay.
So, glove suits,
Yeah.
that can actually let you feel things in the VR world.
So like you could virtually shake someone's hand and actually feel it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty wild stuff.
That's crazy. So beyond entertainment, where are we seeing VR actually being used for, practical stuff?
Well, 2023 was a really big year for VR breaking into like the real world. So
Yeah.
take healthcare, for example. Surgeons are now using VR to practice, really complicated operations, and it lets them refine their techniques in a totally safe environment.
And our sources were even saying that, it can actually lead to fewer errors in real surgeries because they've had so much practice in VR.
That's amazing. What about other fields?
Well, education's another really cool area,
Yeah.
Imagine students being able to walk through ancient Rome or look inside a human cell and see how it works.
Oh, wow.
It's a level of engagement that you just can't get with like normal teaching methods.
Right.
And then there's therapy. They're using VR to treat people with things like PTSD
Oh, wow.
by creating controlled environments where they can kind of gradually work through those difficult experiences.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've also seen some stuff about VR being used for remote work.
Yeah, the idea is to kind of create these immersive virtual offices instead of just doing video calls, So
Right.
it feels like you're really there with your team.
Yeah.
More collaborative, more present. Still some kinks to work out, though. Not totally seamless yet.
Yeah, it seems like it's still pretty early. But where do you think this is all going? What's the future of VR?
Well, a lot of people are predicting that VR is going to just explode in popularity.
Really?
Some projections say it'll be as common as smartphones in the next decade.
Wow.
Yeah. So think about it. Virtual family gatherings that actually feel real, being able to tour a house anywhere in the world without even traveling there.
It's kind of mind-blowing. Are
Yeah.
there any, challenges or roadblocks, though?
Oh, yeah. For sure. Motion sickness is still a problem for some people.
Right.
And the high-end equipment is still pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But, with AI getting better and 5G and all that stuff, it's really pushing things forward. I think we're going to see those problems get solved pretty quickly.
So it seems like the line between our physical world and the digital world is getting more and more blurry.
Yeah, it is. Which actually brings up a pretty interesting question,
Oh.
As that line keeps blurring, how's that going to affect the way we interact with each other? The way we see the world around us? It's something to think about because this whole journey into VR is really just getting started.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we're just scratching the surface.
Absolutely.